What is up, everybody? Today we are doing my top 10 favorite directors. A lot of these directors are very well known and all that. This is just to my taste personally. I'm not saying this is the best of all time, but we'll start from number 10 and work our way up. Number 10 would be John McTiernan. He is pretty much the master of old school action. Kind of made the measuring bar to where everyone else tried to get to with Die Hard. As far as the formula for those old school actions and all that stuff, and how people can be a little bit more vulnerable than, the Stallone and Schwarzenegger type movies where they didn't get touched at all. But, you can't deny that Die Hard was a classic, and he kind of set the bar for everything else. So I know he had some personal and legal problems later on in his career that kind of derailed him, which was a shame. I would have loved to have seen him direct an Expendables movie, because then that would have been phenomenal. It would have been way better than Expendables 4 was. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But that's why he's number 10 on the list, not higher up. I'm sure if he had a bigger body of work, he'd be higher up. Number 9 would be, I'm going to probably butcher his name, Denis Villeneuve. He directed Dune, Blade Runner 2049. Visually, he is probably one of the best directors out there, along with Christopher Nolan right now, as far as what will shape the future of cinema. Some of his movies, I wouldn't say like the script was fantastic, but as far as the direction and the work he does, they are absolutely phenomenal and almost immeasurable as far as anyone getting close to it, except for maybe Christopher Nolan. And that's why he's on this list. And that's why he's lower. He doesn't have a huge body of work like some of the other directors do, which is why he's lower on the list as well. But I love his visual style. I mean, everything looks huge and grand and very, very, very well done. Next would be Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg's probably going to be on everyone's list. Made a lot of classic movies. I wouldn't say all of his movies have been great for me, but he's just always been kind of the tentpole of what other movies could be. He's done every genre: drama, action, sci-fi, the whole shebang, and he's done good at all of them. His scripts are better with well-rounded characters compared to other directors, so that's always good. So he's probably picks his work pretty selectly as far as what he directs anyway. But that's why he's a little bit further down this list, just because they're not my favorite movies of all time, but he does do some very, very solid work. And then next is Roland Emmerich. He is probably one of my favorite disaster movie directors of all time. I mean, he sets the bar for that genre as well. 2012, Day After Tomorrow. I mean, Independence Day, Universal Soldier, Stargate. I mean, he's done so many good movies. Can't wait to see what else he does next. Absolutely phenomenal. What can you say? Comment down below if there's any certain movies of his that you like. But then coming up next is Michael Bay. He would be further up on this list if it wasn't for Transformers. It seems like he just got in a rut to where that's all he would do is Transformers movies. And that kind of killed it for me. I would love to see him come back and direct another Bad Boys movie, even if it's the last Bad Boys movie. But I miss him doing old school. Well, I wouldn't even say what he does is old school action, but just action in general. Bad Boys was phenomenal. Armageddon, The Rock. I mean, just wow. What a shame. He did come back with 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. So that was a great movie to watch if you haven't seen that one before. Yep, and then next on the list here is Oliver Stone. Again, so many good classic movies that you cannot deny. Beyond his political stuff, I don't care about that. I'm talking about just the movies he's made and how well-rounded the characters of his movies are. I mean, he writes and directs and produces the whole shebang. He puts out quality work all the time. So many iconic characters: Platoon, Wall Street, Scarface, wow. I mean, he needs to be on anyone's list for sure. And then next we have, I'm probably going to get his last name wrong, Antoine Fuqua, I believe is how it's pronounced. Master of Intensity, and again does great movies with great, interesting characters, always kind of skewed characters, but they're always very, very intense and very well done. Has he gripped through the whole movie, which is hard to do on every movie that you do, but he seems to have no trouble doing it. I mean, one of my favorite directors for sure. I'm sure everyone's probably seen at least one of his movies. Then we have Ridley Scott, and now we're getting into, he is one of those masters of epic movies like, Kingdom of Heaven, Gladiator, Alien. I mean, everything's bigger than life with his movies, and they're always really well done. They look fantastic. I haven't seen any of his movies in 4K yet, but I'm going to have to check them out. I heard the Aliens 4K is fantastic. But absolutely love him as a director. I still need to check out Gladiator 2 as well. Comment down below if you've seen that movie, if it's worth checking out or not. I think it's on Paramount Plus now as well, so I might have to check it out here eventually. Then number 2 is Christopher Nolan. Loved almost every single one of the movies that he's made. He always pushes the envelope as far as ways movies can look, how they feel, the characters. I mean, he'll get you from the very beginning and get you going, especially with movies like Tenet and Inception. I love his Batman movies. I'm sure everyone loves his Batman movies. But just one of the best directors out there, along with Denis Villeneuve, or whatever his name is. But yeah, and I bet you're wondering why he's not number 1. And that's because number 1 for me is Tony Scott. And that is because he is the master of intensity, just like I liked Antoine Fuqua's movies. I love intense, close-up thriller movies with interesting characters that don't necessarily need a huge budget. And him and Antoine Fuqua are the masters of that. But Crimson Tide, Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, Unstoppable, Enemy of the State, Days of Thunder. I mean, this guy is my favorite director of all time. Easy. Oh yeah, and of course he did Top Gun, which is a classic. I know he had some health issues that caused him to commit suicide, which is a shame. The world lost a great director. But that does it for this list. If you have any comments, definitely let me know what you think of if I missed any directors that should have been on this list. I think Wolfgang Petersen, great director, but didn't really have a whole lot of American movies to talk about. But love his visual style as well as an honorable mention. But that does it for this video. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. I am also over on Letterboxd. The link to that is in the profile description of this channel. Otherwise, until next time, guys.